Baby, I am not being cocky when I say this, but I have never struggled this hard to find a decent paying fucking job.
So, as of today, I am back in the unemployment line. I was laid off this morning. I made it to like exactly 10 months of employment. I got the job I was just laid off from. I got this job April of last year because December 2024, I was laid off from the company I was at that time due to operational downsizing, and this was due to org restructuring.
How do you spend a day when you can't find a job to apply to? Like, you got a lot of Americans right now who really want a job. Like, they seriously want a job, but they can't get a job when none of these companies want them, which is causing a lot of Americans kind of freaked out. Like, a lot of Americans are starting to notice that 2026 is not great. I think Americans are starting to notice that something is seriously wrong with this economy. I mean, you got a lot of people just going on multiple job sites, they're mass applying, cold calling recruiters, and still can't get nothing. And many Americans are kind of just giving up on all this job stuff because what's the point when you can't even find a job? Everyone just seems to be unemployed or underpaid.
I got fired from my job 8 days ago. Florida unemployment let me know that they were not going to give me any benefits because I hadn't been working at my previous job for long enough. So that was really hard, and I just basically bawled my eyes out because I feel like I'm trying like everything that I possibly can. And like that's the worst part about it because it's like it's not like I'm not trying hard enough or I'm not like applying enough or like that would almost be easier because it would be like obvious that's what I would need to do. So I accepted the Starbucks job and I'm gonna do that for a while and keep applying. And so hopefully it won't be a permanent thing, but it'll be something that can just at least get me going. So that's the update. Denied from unemployment, and I'm gonna start at Starbucks. So I quit my job, and now I have 60 days to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Long story short, my job wasn't working out for me anymore, so I quit. And now I have nothing lined up for afterwards, so I'm on the journey to figure out what I really want to do and how it's actually going to fulfill me and make me feel like I'm living the life I want to. As fun and spontaneous as I love to be, I've never really taken a big risk like this, but I truly felt in my spirit that God was telling me to make this move. So here I am. And let me just say, He has already been moving because the day I quit, literally, I found a few jobs I wanted to applied to them. 2 days later, I had 2 interviews. I haven't had an interview in like 8+ months. That was crazy. And even if I don't get those jobs, that is confirmation enough for me that this was a move I was supposed to make. So we'll see what else happens in these next few weeks.
I quit my job without a backup plan. I've had a corporate job. I've been working for this company for about 3 years. They paid very well, and I just quit it, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be doing next. So this job was making me feel absolutely miserable every day. I felt like I was losing myself just day after day, feeling just the word is miserable. And at the end, I felt defeated. Every Sunday before Monday would come, because I worked Monday through Friday, every Sunday the anxiety would start building because I knew the next day I had to go to work. I started having nightmares about work. During my work hours, I just wanted to leave. As soon as I clocked in, I just wanted to be out of there. And my mood, horrible. I was just so miserable. Like, I couldn't stand being on the clock. And I was like a complete different person while working. And as soon as I clocked out, the first couple of hours after working, I felt good. But then once I had to go to sleep, that's when it started hitting me again. The next work day is coming. And then it was all over again, day after day after day. Back in October, I took 3 weeks off, a leave of absence for mental health. And I really thought that I was going to lose my sobriety because I just couldn't take it. And even taking 3 weeks off of leave of absence still didn't do it. So the best thing that I could do for myself was to remove myself from this situation. Otherwise, I don't know where I was going to end up. So here I am, no backup plan, but I am certain that I will be successful and that things are going to work out in my favor.
Yo, isn't it crazy how they are distracting us from what's really happening? And how many people are actually convinced and believe what they're telling us? Immigrants are definitely not the problem. Democrats aren't the problem. Liberals aren't the problem. Republicans aren't the problem. It's the elites. They're the problem. I mean, why are people thinking immigrants are the problem? Let's start there. They're taking all our jobs, all our houses. What are you guys going to do when a trillion AI bots come and take all our jobs? Which is going to happen very soon. Okay? Even the people creating the AI are telling us that. We don't want to believe them, though. We think that's not going to happen. Trump is definitely not talking about it, but he's buddying up with all of them right now. They all are. They making sure they're secure, okay? They're not talking about that. They try to distract us. The Epstein files. The elite are the problem. They literally need the bloods of young people to survive. They're pedophiles, all right? Behind the scenes, AI is going to take all our jobs, okay? And we're going to have to get this little paycheck every year, so the government's going to control us even more. Surveillance. I mean, they're already surveillancing us. Just ask Sam Altman. He's creating a universal dollar. It's a whole business plan he has. Like, research it. Look it up. Ask him. He'll tell you. They're literally going to take all the jobs. First, any job that can be done on a computer will be gone, okay? That's coming really fast. Mechanics, plumbers, y'all safe now. But once Elon perfects that human hand with those robots, man, all the jobs are going to be gone. One of the largest jobs in the world is driving. Once they get the robots to drive the cars, they're already doing that in some cities. Like in LA, you can get a driving car. Like, it's already happening. But imagine a bunch of people losing their job as a driver. That's one of the largest jobs. Like, it's going to happening. I mean, why would you pay a human who needs breaks, who gets tired? Like, why would you pay them? You're going to make so much money paying a robot to drive a car for hours and hours. They don't get tired. Matter of fact, they're making robots where they can take the battery out of their head and recharge it themselves. They don't even need a human to, like, plug them back in. They can do it themselves. They're trying to create a super intelligence. Do y'all know what a super intelligence is? Like, something smarter than any human? Like, why are they doing that? Why? Why are they trying to find other places to live that's not on this planet?
So I gave my 2 weeks notice last week and I just got fired today. Going forward, what would you guys do in this situation? Like, when should I give a 2 weeks notice as opposed to when I shouldn't give a 2 weeks notice and just quit on my last day?
I got laid off from my job the other week, and I was at dinner with my mom earlier tonight talking to her about just like where my life should go and in whatever direction it should go in next. And she became like a really big supporter in me applying for different reality shows. And then when I left this conversation with her, she proceeded to send me Instagram DMs of different casting calls for like Big Brother and Traders and dating shows. She's like, yeah, you should totally do this. And honestly, if you know me in terms of my fandom for Big Brother, Survivor, Traders, I think I'd cry of pure joy going on either one of these shows. But I just like did not take my mom as being someone who was like, get on a reality TV show. So I'm just like kind of thrown off by the whole thing, to be honest. But like, should I?
Today I was laid off. I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, but I had a feeling it was going to happen. There was definitely a lot of signs within my workplace that like pointed to how this wasn't going to be a situation that worked out for me. I felt like my soul was being sucked out of my body, and my boss exhibit a lot of signs that aren't very healthy within a workplace, and I was never going to meet up to their expectation. And yesterday I thought it was so odd that they had asked me like, hey, what time do you normally come in the morning? I'm like, it's like a random question to ask, being the fact that they never asked that question before. So I was like, it's gonna happen. I just knew it was gonna happen. And then sure enough, they come in and they're like, hey, we're gonna have a meeting. I need you to come downstairs with me. And there was HR and security letting me know that they were going to be letting me go. And I'm like, oh, so there's that. I think I was more upset, more so that I didn't have a game plan and listen to my intuition when I started to see the signs that kind of led up that, hey, I think they're going to like, what's the word? That's the word, dissolve, that they were going to dissolve my position. So now I'm here at home contemplating like my next steps. Luckily, I was able to spend some time with my friend, and she helped put a lot of things in perspective. And she was like, girl, you were miserable at that job. You didn't want to be at that job. And maybe the universe had to force you to lose that job in order to start doing the thing that actually sparks joy and brings happiness to your life. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong at all. So yeah, I am going to try to figure out what truly sparks joy in my life and brings me like a sense of satisfaction that I'm building and moving towards something so much bigger than myself that actually has like lasting impact on the community around me. So if you want to see what the heck I'm going to be doing every day until I figure that out, I'm going to share it with you, because it's just me and the internet. It's me and you all day. Day one's over here, because I'm going to go insane in this house, like between these four walls, wondering like, what the heck am I going to do every day? Well, we'll figure it out. So anyways, I'm going to eat and I'm going to enjoy a good K-drama or J. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to watch today. Drama. And I'll see you when I see you until I figure some shit out. Bye.
So if any of you guys are wondering how bad the job market is right now, I just had to do a video screening to work at Sweet Green part-time. As just a core team leader. You go in there, you're like, what do you want in your role? Video screening, 3 questions. Which is like, okay, not a big deal, but like you still have to put makeup on, you gotta put on a cute cardigan, you gotta put yourself together for Sweet Green part-time. Okay, perfect, cool, like that. I don't know. At this point, I have just let it go, okay? I'm just gonna let it go and be free. I'm not gonna complain anymore. Look at me complaining right now. Perfect. But like, it's important for you guys to know, because I feel like a lot of my employed friends and family come to me with advice. Bitch, you don't know what it's like. Don't come to me with advice. And don't even ask me how it's going at this point. I will come to you and let you know how it's going, okay? Because I don't want to talk about it. Because I only want to talk about it with people who know what's up. Y'all don't know what's up, because y'all aren't out here in the field, okay? Y'all aren't free agents trying to figure it out right now, okay? So thank you for your love and support, but I don't want to hear it, okay? And Sweet Green, if you're watching this, if you guys reject me, I don't care. Honestly, reject me. I just wanted a free bowl, okay? Free bowl on the shift. Free Sweet Green bowl on the shift. Things have been good so far. I've been okay. I actually did want a KMS yesterday. Not in like a serious way, but you know when you're just like, oh man, what's the point of this? And then today I woke up, I go, okay, yeah, that's the point. There is no point. Just keep pretending that you like it and I'll be over soon. I'm kidding.
Let me tell y'all how absolutely insane the job market is right now, okay? I quit my job in October because fuck that place and fuck the people there. So that was in October, and I have been looking for a job ever since. Applied a million times online to different places, got declined, and I got a call from Sam's Club at 8 in the morning. What unemployed person is awake at 8 in the morning? Okay, didn't leave a voicemail, didn't leave an email, didn't leave a number to call back. So I called back that number multiple times, didn't get an answer. It was one of those automated things where I was like, press 1 for this department, press 2 for this department, and I was like, I can't, no one's answering. And so I literally got an email the other day, like recently. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. No shit, dude. No fucking shit. Anyways, so I listened to the old heads because they're like, you just need to go door to door and go to these places and ask if they're hiring. That's what I'm out and about doing. I go over to this strip mall, okay? And I go to this, there's a Planet Fitness and a vape shop that I wanted to hit. So I go over to the vape shop, and I go in the vape shop, and she's like, hey, how can I help you? And I'm like, hey girl, because I've seen her before. I said, hey girl, I have a question. She's like, what's up? And I said, are y'all hiring? And she said, I got you. And I get a paper application, okay? And she's like, come back at noon tomorrow. I'm like, awesome, thank you. And then I go over to Planet Fitness. I go up to this desk, and this girl, I said, hey. She goes, hey. I said, I have a question. She's like, okay. I said, are y'all hiring? And she's like, did you apply on Indeed? And I go, no. She goes, okay, let me get my manager. And so she goes over 20 feet and gets the manager that was just vacuuming. And she's like, and he comes up to me and he's like, so you haven't applied on Indeed? And I go, no. And he said, okay, well, it's a 3-step interview process. You are a gym. Why do you have a 3-step interview process that starts on Indeed? He's like, well, there's 4 to 5 people ahead of you, so you're probably not going to get in by the time your application comes through, and da-da-da. I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, I don't understand. How did I get into a vape shop easier than a gym?
Wow, I think I'm gonna be a little vulnerable right now. This job search thing is seriously for the birds. Like, what a way to really check any ego anyone could possibly have. I've been unemployed for about a month now, and it sucks. Looking for a job absolutely sucks right now. I have over 10 years of experience in SEO, in an industry that is and will continue to be valuable. And I just continue to get no after no after no, and I don't understand why. It really sucks. So if anyone could send pictures of dogs or words of encouragement, I could really use them right now.
The generic job search advice that used to be given doesn't apply to this market. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And if you've not experienced this market, please don't be just giving out the generic advice of apply to a job and in the meantime get just any job to get by. Those any jobs are hard to come by too. Working in a cafe, working in retail. People are struggling for that reason. A lot of people don't choose to be completely unemployed for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years. Like, people aren't choosing it. And the reality is, the longer you're out of work, the harder it is to then get back into work. If you don't currently have a job, it's harder to get a new job. There will always be outliers. There will be people that get a referral and they get their foot in the door. However, referrals do not equal guaranteed job position. That's why it's so hard to get a job. The job market is atrocious. It continues to be. Not much is changing. I was unemployed for a very long time. I struggled That's why I continue to make these videos, because I'm sick of people thinking job seekers aren't doing enough, job seekers are struggling because they're doing something wrong. The job market is the issue. It's a systemic issue that needs to be addressed.
When y'all start talking about how bad the job market is, I shut the fuck up because I don't understand what y'all be talking about. I don't get it. Because year before last, my director looked at me and said, "You gonna do what I tell you to do." And I said, "I don't know who the fuck you talking to." And I left. I told him he kissed the blackest part of my ass, gave him my keys and my excess badge. HR let me go that Wednesday. That same day, I had an email asking me if I wanted to interview for a job on that Thursday. I said, sure. Interviewed for the job. 2 hours later, they called me back and offered me the job. And I started as a contractor for the government that following month. Then y'all president started acting fucking stupid and they decided not to renew our contract because of it. Cool. They told us 30 days before our contract ended. I had a new job before the contract ended. Worked that job. And when that job started acting funny and moving funny and I recognized it, I interviewed for a job on a Tuesday. Them bitches let me go on a Monday. I got offered the job I interviewed for on that Tuesday, that following Wednesday. Now I'm currently a federal employee and I'm fucking furloughed. And let me tell y'all something. I started a new job this Monday. One thing I'm not going to do is miss a bag. I'm not going to miss a bag. I'm not going to miss no check. I'm going to get to the bag any means necessary, okay? I don't know about this job market thing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means because I'm always in the motherfucking field. The issue is that y'all saying that the job market is trash because y'all ain't been in the job market. So y'all don't know what y'all need to look for. And I can't help y'all because I don't know the industries y'all in. I can only speak for what I do. But at the end of the day, I ain't missing no motherfucking money, okay? They can keep this bitch shut down anyway. Keep it shut down. I ain't coming the fuck back, okay? I got a new job. Fuck y'all.
I don't think people realize just how bad the job market is. Let me break it down. I know somebody right now, like currently at this moment, who has a master's degree, in like IT or whatever. They cannot find a job. This is not a joke. They cannot find a job. They have the experience. I think they even have a certification, the master's degree, everything. They can find a job. I think they work at a movie theater right now. That's the reality. So when y'all get on here and y'all telling all these people like, oh, breaking IT is so easy, it's so, y'all need to do it, it's not as easy as it seems. Because not only, you're competing with thousands of people. I saw a job application go from, it literally said posted 20 minutes ago, it already had 100 applicants. You're competing with thousands of people. And then it's like crazy. And then once you get into the hiring process, IT, you're going through 6 rounds of the hiring process. By the time you get the job, it's 3 months later from when you actually apply for it. That's the reality right now. People working in IT. That's the reality. It makes me wish that I picked a different field because this is actually getting insane, but
this person. So I left and he was very mad. And then he was blowing up my phone, being like, what a complete waste of my time. You made me do this, this, and this again. Because I've made him do that before. I just said, you still did it though. So I think that's the Courtney that's gonna come back. I'm in a play right now. So that's how I'm letting out that energy. But I just have a lot of rage. I have a lot of rage right now. Because I really didn't think I hated myself that much to deal with all the shit that I've been fucking dealing with. Right? Right. So I think, I don't know if it's feral Courtney, I think it's evil Courtney. I think she's here, and I think she's ready.
Being unemployed genuinely is a humiliation ritual, but one that I think people don't really understand until you've gone through it. Every time I talk about the fact that I've been unemployed for 10 months, at least one person will be like, well, why don't you just become a server? And I fear that we're just like not grasping the job market right now. I have worked in restaurants, I've worked in retail stores, I've worked at like sports arenas, like many like hospitality retail type jobs, okay? When I was 15, I started working jobs like that until I graduated from grad school. Worked my way through school, paying my rent, my tuition, getting not only a bachelor's degree, but also a master's degree. 50 years ago, that would have been enough for me to have job security for like the rest of my life. But now it makes me ineligible to work at jobs that are like retail and hospitality, because every time that I apply to one, they're like, well, you're just gonna leave once you find a new corporate job, so we're not gonna hire you. So after I graduated, I worked in corporate America for like 3 years in tech marketing. Now I have a really awkward amount of experience. The entry-level roles that I apply to, most of them will tell me I'm overqualified for it. Hey, I know I need a job. I do feel like sometimes even still when I tell people that like I've been unemployed for 10 months, they're like, well, why don't you just get a job? Gee, I wish I had actually thought of that one. You know what? I'm gonna do it just now that you said so. Like, no, obviously I've tried. Obviously I've tried to get like any type of fucking job. I had to move in with my parents for crying out loud. Like, obviously I tried everything that I could before that. Like, even the unemployment rate is higher than it's been in years. And I feel like I have to remind myself of that a lot. Because there's so many times, especially when I'm like really in the nitty gritty of applying to jobs and just getting rejection after rejection, that I get so down on myself and I'm like, well, maybe it is me. Like, there has to be something at this point that is me that's wrong. Because why else wouldn't I have a job? But that's just not true and not the case, even though sometimes it feels like it is.